Welcome to Old School. Cenk, Uygur, Ben Mankiewicz, Michael Shure. I'm in a strange mood. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood, and the stories get me, the news stories get me in a better mood, or a worse mood, and then Django Unchained or whatever the hell else happens on air. Sometimes I'm in a great mood, like I was today, and then stories get me in a bad mood. So, like Howard Schultz did earlier today, also from also Joe Biden. Anyway,
are they like backing off the? I can't even remember what it's called.
Whoa!
The cloud macchiato.
Yeah, the what's the flat white? I couldn't remember the words flat white.
Yeah, no, it actually had nothing to do with the flat white, but but letting the White Walkers win is part of it. He's apparently, if Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren wins, he says he's going to get into the race because he has a chance of winning. No, it's just like I'd rather have Trump win so I can keep my goddamn tax cuts. So that's who Howard Schultz is apparently.
I disagree with your assessment of why, but it's really irrelevant. We both come out on the side of whatever he's assessing incorrectly.
And of course, look, and I know, look, he's got a couple of advisors who are probably making a lot of money fluffing him up, telling him, "Oh yeah, Howard, you got this, brother. You got this. First, give us a lot of money."
And they get health benefits for part-time work too, which is good.
Right. And by the way, if you don't win, at least all of the rest of our corporate candidates that we back will be in much better shape because you'll have ruined any chance of progressives winning. Okay. Anyways, Old School brought to you by shoptyt.com. Too strong. So check that out. Okay, but we make a lot of light ones, we make a lot of serious ones. We've got plenty of light topics today too, including fashion. So let me see if I can lighten it up by starting with fashion, okay?
All right.
I have a new Uygur fashion inverse rule, the old UFIR, UFIR, okay?
It's a UFIR.
Going to remind me of something, okay.
Yeah, and so however fashionable something is, it is equally uncomfortable, okay? There's a direct proportion between how fashionable something is and how uncomfortable it is. And however comfortable something, the reverse also applies. However comfortable something is, makes it less appealing to the eye.
Well, that's definitely true, but you can't claim that because that's already been claimed.
Wrong, I can claim anything I want, Michael.
Okay,
that's what you and Nate Silver don't understand.
That's right, he and I have no clue of that.
So we might get to Nate later. We're definitely gonna do Nate Silver and his smear of us on tomorrow's show.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard the whole thing, yeah. So, okay. But yes, like sweatpants, comfortable, but doesn't look good. My regular jeans that I wear, very comfortable, happy, thrilled with them. That's why I wear them every day. And I have same kind of jeans, and I just switch back and forth. They don't look good. They're too loose, and they probably even make me look more alright. But they don't bother me. Whereas I'm wearing these jeans today, which are borderline skinny jeans, which is totally unacceptable. But let's be honest, anything will look like skinny jeans on me.
They don't look comfortable.
No, they're not comfortable. I'm squished. I'm squished. I'm leaving it at that. Okay?
You are.
Right? And that's the other thing about overweight guys. There's no winning. Like that's the one thing I have sympathy for Donald Trump on is when people make fun of his long tie. I know why he does the long tie. You ever seen a fat guy with a short tie? Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't have sympathy on him is him weirdly, totally needlessly lying about his weight. What does he say? He's 185
something like that. Yeah.
He says he's like 220. Whatever he says, add 50 pounds to it. Okay. So you do the long tie to cover up your gut because if you do the short tie, then it rests on your gut and it's so awkward and embarrassing, right? So if you wear the loose stuff, you look even bigger. You wear the tight stuff, and you wear tight jeans with a loose shirt because you're not going to wear a tight shirt. That's a disaster, right? You know how silly an overweight guy looks with tight jeans and a loose shirt? There's no goddamn winning.
Why don't you stand up?
No. No.
You should. You should go the Tony Soprano route.
With the dress shirt, like the
dress
short
shirt,
sleeve
not
dress shirt.
no. You can wear long sleeve, short sleeve dress shirts. No one should go that
No,
route.
the
As a
substitute
Yeah, you
teacher.
know, that
road is-
Substitute teacher.
That road
it's
is
great.
that road's blocked off.
You think so? Well, how Charlie Sheen I counter with?
Oh, good point.
And then,
Yeah,
that's a
the
really good
jury
point.
rests its
Yeah.
case.
No,
I think that it does match the machete pretty well, though, when Charlie pulls that look off.
I mean, you're talking about how to dress, needing a tie like we're wearing a suit.
Yeah. Remember, for a long, long time, you'll see it if you watch Mad as Hell, the movie about us. I used to wear my dress shirts out, not tucked in.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I went to tucking them in because we were like, it looks sloppy, it looks weird. It doesn't. Nobody does it. It doesn't look right.
Well, first of all, tons of people do it now, tons. But
I was
There's
a
actually a
trendsetter, I
company
didn't even
called
know it. I should've-
Untuck It.
there's a company called.
I know. I
Untuck It.
should have just stuck with it.
But the reason why you couldn't do it is because you were wearing a dress shirt designed to be tucked in, untucked in, and that does look sloppy.
Yeah, because it'd be really long. People are like that.
Because there are ones that are.
Did you wear your
But they're-
jammies?
Or
you
you
know,
were wearing a Steelers sweatshirt.
But they're designed not to be tucked in, so they don't go down as far, and they're designed to be worn with a jacket and even nice pants. And you
So
just
is
gonna-
it just the Untucked guys, or is it everybody?
No,
like are there other
Yeah,
places?
there are
that's
other places, you know, and and if you'll forgive me, if you go to a place like Rochester, big and tall,
you are forgiven because unlike Nate Silver, I care about facts. And the facts are I am overweight.
so yeah, and they'll tell you, and you'll be like, I don't want to tuck stuff in, and they'll be like, great, here's your size, here's not tucked in, here's a jacket,
Right.
and give you some nice pants, and they give you a suit too. And the great thing about LA is you could get away with wearing a suit where you didn't tuck in, and then you just don't wear a tie.
Yeah.
And then because you don't definitely, if you're not tucking it in, you can't wear a tie.
If you're not tucking it, you can't wear it.
right.
No,
Yeah, I think everybody agrees with that. Even Nate Silver would agree to that.
I like that it's called Rochester Big and Tall too. It's like
Yeah.
it's a big and tall show, but just so you know, just so you're absolutely positive, we're going to name it Rochester too. It's like, because that you don't even need to put big and tall on it. It's like a Rochester.
I hear
clothes.
Rochester, and I still just think somebody making a phone call in the movies in 1938.
The RO.
Hello, operator. Yes, give me Rochester 4416. Thank you.
What on God's green earth? Okay, I have not watched enough classical movies to know that. No, I think of
Evidently, yeah, as evidenced by the way you structured that sentence. They're not classical movies.
they're just classic
They're
movies.
just classic. The music is classical. The movies are classic.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. That's what I read.
Like when somebody says something funny and it's a great line from the old school, you don't go, oh, classical.
Well, I might.
Yeah, that's true.
Right,
He
yeah,
would.
Yeah, and I was just trying to think of what they're called on. Anyway, sometimes they're called
On
vintage.
Turner.
Yeah, no, not on Turner. Well, anyway, okay, so Rochester's a good idea. I think of course, the city, and I think like, yeah, there's probably a lot of big
Right,
and
that's
tall
what I'm
guys
saying.
in
It seems
Rochester,
like, yeah.
right? And then it's like almost perfect.
Stevedores and longshoremen. I don't
Yeah.
even know if there's shore there, but
Yeah, but they're long.
yeah, that's
So
right.
that makes
That's
sense.
right. Big and long.
Yeah, and so winter, I'm gonna do that, Ben. That's an excellent suggestion because I did go to Untitled. So here's how I shop: A, never.
Right.
B, shoptyt.com gives me shirts to wear every single day.
They sponsor this show.
They do. I'm gonna send them after Nate Silver. So the Nate Silver thing is gonna become a thing now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's definitely the enemy. That's who we ought to
Yeah, that's right.
That's who we ought to be laser focused on.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Look, I got it in this order, right? Establishment Democrats number 3, Trump number 2, Nate Silver number 1 with a bullet.
That's right. Yeah. Good.
So, anyways, but yeah, I walk by a place and my wife goes, "Please get something new, please. I'm begging you." Right? We're in the mall or something, and I went by and Untuck It, and I went in. And I'm
They have storefronts now.
yeah, they
Yeah.
do, and
At the mall in Century City.
yeah. And I went in, and of course they don't have my size. Yeah, and you could order it, but then that requires effort, so I was done.
Yeah, I would imagine that Rochester. I mean, I assume they have the untucked shirts.
But I don't think Rochester. Do you think Rochester would have the untouched? I think like Tommy Bahama. Then you're moving into the Tommy Bahama zone.
Yeah, I know, but then you're wearing like Hawaiian shirts and stuff. You know
a
what
little
I'm saying?
bit, or you're wearing. Yeah, you're.
I think
you're
you
wearing
should-
like a solid pastel.
I think you should have some
Nah.
of that too. Not Hawaiian shirts, but then casual. That's a little Tony Soprano. Like casual.
Yeah,
grown-up.
but I thought Tony wore short sleeve.
They might be, but I'm not saying that. You want to roll up some long sleeves, great, but I'm not.
Okay, all right.
But you want to get some. But you might have to ultimately do this in some capacity online. Which means you just, all it means is you go with your wife, or hell, you go to a tailor and they measure you and then you order it. And I've ordered some shirts online, they're my favorite shirts.
Also, Untuck It Online might have different offerings than they have in the store too.
Yeah, I got you. All right.
But while we're on this fashion, while we're in the weekly fashion segment, or as you would say, fashional segment of old school, because I swore I was going to talk to you about this.
Nate Silver is shaking his head going, classical? This guy's criticizing me. He just said classical movies.
Because if there's one thing Nate Silver's doing, it's watching old school.
Yeah,
got that right. You know it too, Nate. Shut up. You know you're watching.
What's happening here? What is that?
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
My new picture on
Twitter.
Yeah.
You've had it like a month now.
Yeah.
We never
How
talked
badass
about
does
that.
that
That's
look?
true.
Yeah, was not my.
Really?
Not my
you don't like it?
Yeah,
I
I gotta say I'm not, but I can be convinced.
You're
I'm not
a
sure
fan
either.
either.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not sure.
You're not even, and your name is
First of all,
Shure.
no one in that jacket has ever been described as badass. Like that is not a.
Really?
I don't mind the jacket
disagree.
because that's a little.
It's not a question of minding the jacket. It's now a sudden minding the jacket when part of a badass picture.
Right. Yeah.
No. Let me explain. So, guys, if you can
Slider
find the picture and blow it up and put it up on the screen, that'd be great. I mean, obviously for the podcast guys, you're not going to see, but go to twitter.com/Cenk Uygur. Good luck trying to spell it. Okay. So when that went up, the comments rained in.
Yeah,
and Wendy was a little nervous for a while because there was a lot of women who were falling into that thirst trap.
I would have to say that I haven't seen it blown up like this. When I first saw it on my phone, maybe because it was jarring and I wasn't ready for it. This is not the Cenk, this is like
Right.
Queer Eye for the straight guy went over to the Uygur house, and this is what they came up
so
with.
there's two things that's jarring about that
and
picture.
then
If you
they
know.
left, and Cenk put on a different jacket and took the picture.
No. Although I do have a jacket like that, but that's not my jacket.
Whose jacket is it?
Okay, I'm gonna explain. Come on, you guys are nuts. That's like the best picture of me ever, dude.
No,
if that's not good enough, that's all I got.
No,
I don't mind the jacket.
I don't mind the Cenk part of it.
Yeah. So number one, the reason it's the best picture of me in a long time is because it's photoshopped.
Right.
Okay, they made my jaw incredibly.
Yeah.
Shadows.
Right. Yeah. They gave you
square jaw.
Yeah.
Right. They gave you the Mankiewicz jaw. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah. I thought it was called the classical.
No,
jaw.
I actually like it now bigger. I think it was more that I was just
It was
shocking. Shocked by it.
It was stunning, and it does seem a little photoshopped, just in that it doesn't.
Yeah. So no, I'm going to get to that. So it's Photoshop. Number one is Photoshop. So they took away, most importantly, the double chin, and so gave me more of a square chin. So it looks better. And number two, it was. You guys are totally wrong. It was guys that are way more stylish than you. It wasn't me, right? I went and did a photo shoot that Praveen, who's head of marketing here, asked me to do. And this guy's a great professional photographer, and he put that on me. I have another great one with covered in the American flag, like draped in the American flag. I don't know what we did with it, but anyway. And he put that on, and I looked at it because we're all very similar. I was like,
"What do you mean he put that on? You mean he dressed you in those clothes?"
Yeah, they have all.
Oh, so they didn't Photoshop the clothes in. They gave you.
No, they just photoshopped. They photo edited the photo to make it look better.
Yeah, they didn't have to Photoshop the clothes. They had to Photoshop my face.
No, I understand that part. I'm saying, did they actually put you in that shirt and jacket?
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. They had a rack, and then they went and they said, "Okay, these are the. This is what they would look good in."
You're both wrong. I mean, and you're way off and colossally wrong. Couple of things. One, it might work on somebody else. It's not you.
No, I'm getting to that.
All right.
So it looks good. It would look better on someone else. Agreed. And the third thing is that the picture is glossy. So when you see it, it's so not me because I'm not a glossy guy, and I don't wear good clothes, and I do have a double chin. So when you add all those things, what's screaming across to you guys in that millisecond that when you first saw it was, this is not Cenk.
Right. And also, it's not what I've been used to seeing.
Right. There was a degree of what's happening here, no question. You see, I get all that. they're mistaken about the appropriateness of that shirt jacket combo.
For him?
For I think anyone.
Oh, no, I think it looks good.
No, you're wrong. But
I think
don't,
Michael
but
might
I have
have
no,
the same shirt on,
But
as I did in that photo.
But it
shoot.
would-
Oh yeah, we're wearing the same shirt right now.
No wonder Michael's defending the
no,
shirt.
that's a more of a work casual shirt. That's part
Is
of the
that
problem.
tucked in?
I don't think it was.
I need to see. Yeah.
You know why? Because they
were-
had clothes, and I'm sure that somebody told them, hey, he's a big guy, right? And they planned ahead. But you can never plan ahead for my gut because people always underestimate it. That's I'm underestimated on many things, including my gut.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm so deep that no shirt can go that deep. So I'm sure that it was really tight on me, so I didn't tuck it, and they made sure to take the pictures at chest level.
And there are places too, just going back to the whole shirt thing, there are places that will make a custom shirt to every measurement for you. I think online too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
And they're not even.
They're not crazy.
and they're not
yeah.
that much more money either. I mean, they're not. For many cases, they're no more money. They're less than $100. No, that's not the right. At a bare minimum, it's not the right combo for you. If the shirt, I don't like the jacket at all on you because it's loud. The jacket is deliberately loud, so you have to have to wear that jacket and pull it off. You have to be a stylistic person. You have to be a guy who be like, of course you can pull off that jacket because you're you, right?
Yeah.
But if you were wearing a white shirt, I could tolerate that jacket more.
Well, I like it, but I also like now that Ben said it's loud. It's finally there's something louder than you, right? There's a
That's
jacket,
right.
sort of the juxtaposed.
Yeah. So it's a nice. It's too much of a clash, is Ben's point. I'm plenty loud enough without having a loud jacket.
Yeah,
it's too
In a
much.
photo, you don't know.
But yeah, I'm gonna send you that website tonight. There's some prep you have to do. You have to do some measuring. Wendy's gonna have to do some measuring of you, and then you send it in, and then they send shirts, and you go, I don't want them to be tucked in, and then you have them, and they measure your gut. I didn't even get it from him.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to mention, Josh, because Josh could pull off that jacket potentially, because he's a style.
Yeah, no, he could. That's right. Yeah.
Because he's got style, right? Most people wouldn't wear that kind of jacket, but you didn't do that, did you? All right. So I can't help it. Let's do politics, okay?
The Blasio's running.
Yeah, okay, but you know what? Let's talk about that because it just got announced. I wasn't on the show today. I was on the Young Turks today. So what's he doing? I don't get it. I honestly, I didn't get what Tulsi was doing. I mean, I do. I know politics. They're building up name recognition.
Well, it's not just name recognition. In this huge, enormous, crazy big field, de Blasio thinks, okay, I can win New York. If I win New York, I get a lion's share there. You don't have to win very many. Obviously I disagree with him, but this is what he's thinking. You don't have to win that much anywhere in order to kind of start building it up. And that's what his thinking is that, okay, I'm from New York, it's a big state, Gillibrand's not winning anything here. I have a shot at it, it's a huge city. I won twice here with a lot of votes, raw numbers. Those numbers will contribute to what share I get. It's ridiculous.
At a bare minimum, I can be a broker of some sort at a convention, which, again, I just made fun of this on a season recap I did of Veep. The number of conversations that we've had and will continue to have about a brokered convention.
Yeah.
Which would be great. That's
Never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
Never,
right.
never
Right.
gonna
But it is.
happen.
But the conversations will happen again and again. Now, in this sort of wide open field, whether you agree with this analysis or not, it will tell you one school of thought among the establishment out there, right? Every part of the establishment, whether that's really people at the papers in Washington and the networks in Washington and New York. Here's what they will say. Bernie Sanders never gonna be president of the United States. Elizabeth Warren,
that's what they say every day.
Right, Elizabeth Warren's never gonna be president of the United States. And this is not just, I'm talking broad establishment, so plenty of just people, right? They'll just, Bernie Sanders never gonna be president, Elizabeth Warren's never gonna be president. And you know what? Joe Biden, this is not his time. It's gotta be somebody younger coming, right?
This is exactly what they think.
And
yes.
then they can go on. And Kamala Harris and Cory Booker aren't going to be president because, boy, we just saw the backlash to what happened when we had a black president last time. And so if you start with that logic, which is flawed, I think, in a lot of levels, but a ton of people hold, right, Michael? I mean, this country is filled, millions of people believe that who are going to vote in the primary. Well, then if you're Bill de Blasio, well, then I'll be one of the other people who run. Who do I have to beat? John Hickenlooper?
But I think everything you're saying is true. I still don't get why de Blasio.
Yeah, I still don't get why de Blasio.
No, and there's a good reason for that. Look, so where you deviated from what is actually 100% reality is when you said Kamala Harris, et cetera, can't win. No, the establishment believes Kamala Harris can win. And before Biden came out so strong, they thought Kamala Harris would win.
Let me object to because I now think I get a sense of what sometimes my objection is to you with the establishment. What you consider the establishment is too big. They don't all agree.
No, of course. But you do have to talk in some generalities.
I got it, but I know tons of people who think that nominating, while they consider themselves to be perhaps progressive, certainly liberal, certainly would love Obama to have a third term. But they think, boy, the mistake right now against Donald Trump would be to nominate a black candidate.
God, they're so wrong.
I got it, but I mean, I hear it plenty. So I
also think they're wrong, but people are saying that.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
So if you have that manner of thinking, and then if you're Bill de Blasio, you think if Elizabeth Warren, or certainly Bernie Sanders, and probably Elizabeth Warren can't be president. Maybe not because she's progressive. Maybe it's because we have such a rich history of nominating women. There's such a huge sample size. We've never won with a woman, right? Then who got 2.8 million more votes than the other guy. That maybe that's why they're dismissing Elizabeth Warren. But if you think then that these two progressives can't win, and you're a progressive like Bill de Blasio, you think, well, then I'm the guy who's going to come in and take that because we know Beto isn't, and we know Mayor Pete isn't, so he thinks it'll be him.
And there's another thing. There's another thing. Well, he can't hurt himself much more than he's already hurt himself in general. I mean, there's another thing about this, which is that these, Bill de Blasio is looking at it as if, we're going to go with the premise that I don't think Bernie Sanders can win. I think something's going to happen to Joe Biden at some point where they're going to sour on him, and then it's anybody's ball game. Why don't I just get into that ball game with Eric Swalwell and John Delaney and Steve Bullock and John
how are they doing? Go ask them how they're doing.
They're not doing well because Biden's doing well there, and because Sanders eats up a certain chunk. And then he says after that fades, it's May of 2019. After that fades, there's going to be a big piece of pie for somebody. Why don't I just get in line?
Yeah, I hear you. I totally understand that logic.
That's the logic. Yeah. I'm not saying that he's right. Obviously,
and
I'm saying
I know
he's
that you
not.
guys don't think that is the correct analysis. You're just explaining what the analysis is for why he entered. But it drives me crazy when people can't see clearly. But the thing that it drives me the craziest is when people insist on irrationality. That's when I really get my dander up. So like Kamala Harris is not my favorite candidate. If you tell me she can't win because she's black or she's a woman, I'm gonna defend her to the hilt. All of a sudden, I'm gonna be Kamala Harris's biggest champion, right? Because it's just not true. It's just not true. The other factors are so much larger that it dwarfs those issues, even if you think they're real issues. Anyway, and so the problem with, first of all, there is no lane for the Swalwells of the world. There just isn't. They keep thinking there is. First of all, if there was, Buttigieg already took your lane and ran with it, and it's already over, and you don't know it.
But that's what happens in these elections, Cenk, when they're bigger, when they're big fields. That the Gary Harts who come out of nowhere have something. And guess what? One day, a Jimmy Carter comes along and he becomes president. And Jimmy Carter was John Hickenlooper, right? I mean, but I'm talking about the space.
Maybe he was though.
I'm talking about the space he took up. He was and the kind of he was sort of not very well known. He was a Southern governor at the time. There was a bit of anonymity to him, like there is to so many of these people, to people who don't talk about them every day. Like we know who John Hickenlooper is, but that's because that's what we do. The whole side of that people don't take into account is Eric Swalwell thinks he can be president, and he thinks that there will be a lane. The fact that Pete Buttigieg came up and then went down, that is even more impetus for him to continue running because he'll have his day in his estimation.
I have in front of me, how do I make this fucking bigger? I have in front of me, and it's gonna be super awkward because I'm gonna have to look at it like this. Polling from solved. Polling from the 1976 Democratic field conducted between January and June of 1975. I don't know why that would be relevant for
Henry
us.
Scoop Jackson? Mo Udall?
George Wallace polling at 20% with the leader, 19.7%.
I wasn't going in order, by the way.
Yeah. His name recognition, he had the highest name recognition too. Second highest name recognition and coming in at 15.3%, Hubert Humphrey.
Yep.
Right, that's Joe Biden. right? 8 years as vice president.
But without the loss without having lost. Well, actually,
he
same
lost.
thing.
No,
Yeah, he
almost,
lost. Yeah.
almost, and a losing
Yeah.
presidential candidate. Very similar, not exact, but similar.
Yeah.
Scoop Jackson at 10.7%.
He would have been a great president.
By the way, there were like, I think, 3 polls, right, as opposed to 372. Ed Muskie, 8.7 from 72. Had been a front runner for a while in 72. George McGovern, 8.3. Democrats not wanting to repeat that. Then you take a big drop down. John Glenn at 3.
No Mo Udall?
Mo Udall's coming.
Okay.
John Glenn at 3. After John Glenn,
James Earl Carter?
Julian Bond at 2.
Julian Bond at 2. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Michael's friend Julian Bond at 2.3%. Lloyd
Wow.
Benson at 2. Adlai Stevenson III at 2.
Wow.
Mo Udall at 1.7%. John Lindsay,
Oh, yeah.
your Bill de Blasio candidate.
Yeah, for sure.
At the mayor of New York.
DeVliet Lindsay.
1.7%. Then we have 4 candidates at 1%. Jerry Brown, Birch Bayh, Evan Bayy's dad, Fred Harris from
Fred Harris, I'm not.
America. All these candidates at 1.0%, and one of those is Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not 1976.
But it's. I know
So,
there are human dynamics that don't change either.
Yeah. So that gets us to the core of the issue, which is yes, but who are they, and do they have a chance based on the substance? So I'll actually give Swalwell a little bit of credit because he at least had enough savviness to pick a lane, and his lane is
Guns.
Guns. Okay, I'm the most for gun control, and so if you want to end the gun problem, you go for Swalwell. Okay. Hey, at least maybe fighter's chance, right? Maybe that issue gets, I was about to say smoking hot, but but seriously, like really, imagine if there were like a massacre a day. Oh, right, there is. Okay, so but 2 massacres a day. I don't know, but at least he picked something. Hickenlooper is the worst of the worst. Hickenlooper is like, I'm just a general corporate Democrat. And I just think rich people are kind of awesome. And but hey, guess what? 19 other people in this race agree with me.
Right. He's
right. And
yeah, I mean,
what your case is? Well, I'm from the middle of the country. I was governor of Colorado.
But he's
oversaw a good state economy.
right.
I mean,
Governor of I'm just saying, governor of a swing state, and wants to be to him. Certainly until Biden got in the race, and as we learned on Old School last week, didn't we learn on Old School last week that Hickenlooper asked Biden to endorse him, right?
Oh, right, indeed.
And then I can't remember what did Biden say.
Biden said,
I'm going to need you to go ahead and f off.
I can't believe this is happening again this week.
That's right, I remember now. I couldn't think of it. So if you're. So Hickenlooper thinks he was going to be the guy who Biden is now being, who says, look, man, these guys, this party has gone too far to the left, and we're a mainstream party, and we're going to work with Republicans, and we're going to be practical, and Trump's awful, and that was going to be his thing. It just hasn't caught on at all, and I'm with you. I don't think it's going to.
And he should run for Senate.
And he should definitely take that message and turn it left 78 degrees and run for the Senate.
So without belaboring it,
which he can't do, by the way.
There's the Hickenloopers of the world who have no chance at all, and they're just mainstream what blah, right? But de Blasio is not in that camp. De Blasio is making a mistake for a different reason. So if I was a progressive politician and was considering running for president, look, I'm gonna tell you my honest assessment. I would never run against Bernie Sanders. I think it's a terrible mistake. And I wouldn't run against Elizabeth Warren. I would think those are your 2 leaders. And so what am I doing here? Like, what, am I gonna out-left them? No, I'm not. And you know that. Am I gonna out-principle Bernie Sanders? No, I'm not. Am I gonna out-policy Elizabeth Warren? No, I'm not. So by raising my hand and saying, oh yeah, it's gonna be me, to me it comes off as a little desperate, a little foolish, and and self-aggrandizing. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
like,
they're all self-aggrandizing. They're running for
no, I
president.
hear you. I know. And that's silly of me to even like think that a politician wouldn't self-aggrandize. But I guess I look at it from my perspective. I genuinely care about policy.
Right, well,
and if you're a progressive who deeply cares about policy, what are you doing in the race, gumming up the works?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, because the presumption is it gums up the works, right? I don't know that another progressive in the race gums up the works.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
And the good counter argument is more progressive voices is better. It amplifies the message. And look, I believe that. I had Mike Gravel on the show the other day, and
was he in that 1972?
He was not in the 1976.
He was in the Senate though.
Yeah. But we did share a hot tub.
That's right. You did.
You shared a hot tub with Mike Gravel.
Well, I mean, we both shared the hot tub at different times.
Right. The
Well, we're
Mankiewicz
still gonna
lived
do
in
that
the
story.
Gravel house.
Yeah.
But
so okay, unfortunately, the YouTube audience love you, but get the free podcast, totally free. Get the hour of old school, and then if you want to get the whole hour and a half, we do go on and on. TYT.com/join to become a member. All right, thanks for watching this free clip of Old School. Don't forget to become a TYT member today for the rest of the show and for more exclusive content throughout the network. Join now at TYT.com/join.
We found television's best kept secret.